Hi.
Welcome, everybody, to Knock Knock Hi with the Glaucomfleckens. I have right here next to me Kristen Flannery, also known as Lady Glaucomflecken.
That's right. And you're Will Flannery, also known as Dr. Glaucomflecken.
We are the Glaucomfleckens, and this is an episode of Glauc Talk. And I've got something very fascinating and surprising, and I'm having trouble even talking about it, wrapping my head around this. I have something to share with you.
Okay. I'm scared.
There are more Subway franchises in the U.S. than there are McDonald's.
I know. We learned that this morning.
I looked it up.
You did?
I looked it up.
What are the numbers?
There's roughly 13,000 McDonald's franchises.
Okay.
There's like 24,000 Subways. That's
That's
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Do people love sandwiches that much?
I just, you hold McDonald's up as the epitome of like fast food America, but apparently it's Subway.
Well,
It's like a sleeper.
And people are probably thinking, why are you talking about this? Well, it did occur to me on our trip to England recently that I don't know if we saw one McDonald's, but we did see at least two Subways. So it kind of makes sense.
Oh, we saw more than that. The kids and I. Yeah, I think we ate at 3. Yeah.
That's right, folks. The Glaucomfleckens went to another country halfway around the world, and then
listen,
I did not eat any Subway. I had wonderful food from the great country of England.
I know. People have really strong feelings about food and what other people are eating. Which I don't understand. Why anyone cares.
Don't direct your anger at me, okay? No. I ate the stuff I'm supposed to eat. I had my beans. I had so many beans. All you people from England, you'll be happy to know I ate plenty of beans.
Did you eat the black pudding?
The one time I did eat black pudding.
There you go.
Can't say I loved it. It's not. I do love the bacon that you call bacon, which is just ham, and the poached eggs. I love the poached eggs over there.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of poached eggs and on English muffins.
Yeah.
But so the English breakfast, the breakfast situation over there, fantastic.
Yeah, I think everyone could get on board with that.
The seafood, phenomenal.
Yeah. We didn't have any Indian food. That was a mistake.
We did not. My brother did. We didn't go with him, but the afternoon tea. Oh,
yeah, that's the best.
The little pastry things. All the little
scones.
The scones. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, this brings me to after telling you all the wonderful things we ate. I had fish and chips. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I even had a little bit of lobster. I don't normally eat lobster.
No.
I got some lobster over there. You decided, and the girls decided, you were going to partake in some Subway. Several times.
Don't shame us. Okay. I have ARFID, as we may have discussed, and our children are picky eaters.
You want to tell the people what ARFID is?
Moms with picky eaters know what the deal is. When you're traveling and they don't know what these restaurants are, like the kids, they want something they can count on, something they know is the same everywhere they go.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that too.
So the ARFID thing, though.
ARFID. I'm going to get this wrong. It's been a while since I looked it up. I can't remember exactly the R.
It's pathologic picky eating.
Feeding intake disorder.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's certain things you can't eat and you don't eat. And
right.
I
eat like a 7-year-old. The beigeur, the better. And I eat about 10 things. That's ARFID in a nutshell.
So anyway. Yeah, and I would say that the times when you did get Subway, it was like we just had to get something.
Yeah, right. None of the times was it like, you know what I could really eat right now. No, it's just we're out and about. We don't really know where we're going or what's around. And
the best part,
it was a familiar.
It wasn't any good.
It wasn't any good. It wasn't. I mean, it was fine. Look.
Did they call
to
things
the lovely
weird?
Subway establishments.
Did they have different weird names for things? Did you know?
No, it was Subway. The chips were different. Like the I guess in England they would be crisps.
Right. Like that's on point. Like some of the
The sandwiches
sandwiches.
seemed the same. I mean, I didn't like fully scrutinize the menu here, but they seemed the same. And
Okay.
then the only thing that was different at a glance were the brands of chips and drinks that were available.
Okay.
Like there were no Doritos over there, no Lay's. It was all different.
Really?
Yeah.
What is overall your impression? I don't know why I'm asking you this. Your impression of English cuisine.
You know what? Most people don't. It kind of gets a bad reputation for
It
being
does.
like too plain and boring. But you know what?
Perfect for you.
Great for me. Yup.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same impressions. Like everybody complains about it. It's like it sucks. It's terrible. But I don't know. I was fine with it. I thought all the seafood is really good. I love the fish and chips. At Wimbledon, went to Wimbledon one day.
Yeah.
We had the strawberries and cream.
Oh yeah, strawberries and cream.
The strawberries were very good over
Were
there.
they?
They're
Strawberries. Sorry, I had to do one.
big into strawberries over there. But anyway, yeah, I figured we should talk about the food. But
Yeah. We have an interesting time eating as a family, and it gets amplified.
I am just
when we travel.
I've just been resigned to the. I'm not gonna no fine dining is going on with this family. But it's
Well,
just okay.
You can have the fine dining.
I'm gonna
That's
go
all
and
right.
sit by myself in a restaurant.
Make a friend.
I have done that a couple times.
Yeah.
You
Get
think
takeout.
I could just tweet it out like, hey,
Yeah, I think you could. I'm sitting at this restaurant right now. Is anyone in the vicinity?
I'm in Sydney, Australia. Anybody want to come have dinner with me?
Yes, I think you could do that. That would actually be kind of fun. It'd be interesting to see where the night takes you.
Okay.
Should try that next time.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah. We were in this market at one point.
Oh, that was
an
good.
open air market. No, you weren't here for this. This was the day you went to Wimbledon and we went and did something else.
You found a different market.
Well,
'Cause
we
we
were
did our
on a
market.
Harry Potter walking tour
Oh,
for
that's right.
Muggles, and the tour ended at this market,
Mhm.
and it was very, very crowded, like shoulder to shoulder, and the whole thing. And we couldn't stay. I wanted to stay and look around, but the kids were like, it was too much
Mhm.
for the kids. They were freaked out about how packed it was. But as we were walking through, I did notice there was like a full octopus with like all of its tentacles just spread out over the counter. It was like a display piece at somebody's booth.
It was a real octopus.
Yeah, like it was.
Like they
it
were
was
selling
a
it.
food.
Yeah.
Street food.
That's one thing I don't think I could eat. I've never had
Yeah.
octopus.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure if it's octopus or squid.
I've eaten squid,
But
like
it was-
calamari is
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But octopus, I don't think I've ever had octopus.
Yeah, I did see it on the menu once
Yeah.
while we were over
Probably.
there.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But-
Anyway,
All right, let's take a break and come back with some healthcare news.
all right.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short, to learn about how the DAX Copilot can help reduce burnout and restore the joy of practicing medicine. Stick around after the episode or visit nuance.com/discoverdax. That's nuance.com/discoverdax. All right, we are back. You want to do a little healthcare news now?
Let's do it.
All right, this is when I bore Kristen to tears with the happenings about. So I talked on a Knock Knock Eye episode recently about there's once a year they come out with more cuts to physician reimbursement every year.
It's like a holiday.
It is, yeah, one that we all celebrate
Guts
with
Day.
joy and happiness.
Yeah.
No, this time it's just across the board 2.8%, which is big more than last time. But this is like across
not
the board,
trivial.
and so some got hit more, some got hit less. A few specialties actually got a pay bump. These are CMS, so Medicare rates.
hmm
But overall,
If it was across the
Down.
board a cut of 2.8%, how do you get a pay bump? Like
no. I mean, like it all averaged out. So some specialties got a bigger cut.
Mhm.
Some specialties actually got a little bit of a increase.
Oh,
But it all
then when you
averaged
average
out
everything, it was
to a decline,
Yeah.
decline of 2.8%. But what really irritates people, obviously, it's like sucks to like, when you work, the longer you work, you expect like a pay raise,
right.
but it's like that's
Mhm.
the opposite is happening. Um, but what sucks and what really grinds a lot of physicians' gears is that hospitals every year they get a pay raise.
Yeah.
So the reimbursement of Medicare to hospitals goes up every year. For physicians, it goes down every year. And so you wonder why there are like fewer physicians in private practice because they're
Mhm.
all like less able to pay the bills and keep practices open. So they sell to hospitals, which
Mhm.
are making more money and private equity and
Right.
everything. But that's not actually what the healthcare news I was going
Oh,
to
it
tell
gets
you about.
better.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It gets even better. So it was, there was a report from the Wall Street Journal that showed that United Healthcare
Mhm.
members,
Your best friends.
my best friends, are 15 times more likely to be diagnosed with diabetic cataracts than patients with traditional Medicare.
Oh boy.
And so, what this basically showed is clearly, and the reason for this is because Medicare pays insurers $2,700 more annually per patient diagnosed. So, what they're finding is that patients who are on United Healthcare insurance
Mhm.
are getting diagnosed, not necessarily by ophthalmologists, maybe, but just by healthcare professionals who are able to diagnose. I don't know exactly who it is, but they're getting diagnosed with these things that they don't really have. Because some of these patients
Oh.
were then following up with eye doctors and determined, oh, wait, no, there is not a
Yeah.
diabetic cataract in this patient.
This is kind of the inverse of what usually happens where you do have a thing, but they refuse to acknowledge or pay for it.
Yeah, this
Now
is
they're saying you have a thing,
so that
don't.
they can get more money from the government.
Right.
Right. And so, it's there basically United Healthcare is surprisingly to 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 nobody
Mhm.
gaming the system.
Oh, shocking.
Amazing, right? And what kind of repercussions will they face?
Probably none.
None. Zero. So they're going to get a little fine, a little slap on the wrist. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's what's going on.
We see you, United Healthcare. We
Any,
see what you're doing.
any follow-up questions?
Many, but they mostly boil down to why,
Yeah. Yeah.
how.
The rules, yeah, they just don't apply to if you make enough money, if you're a big enough corporation, it just doesn't apply to you.
You can buy off anyone that might punish
Mhm.
you.
That's right.
Well, that's very
Exciting, everybody.
uplifting.
Yep, that's your healthcare news for today. We should have a little jingle that associates with it. Healthcare news with the Glockenfleckens. Do you have any healthcare news? Tell us what your favorite healthcare news of the month, of the last few months. If you have any healthcare news you want us to talk about,
Mhm.
love to hear it. All right, so we could do a couple things here. I thought it'd be fun. I was thinking back on, well, because we have two kids, we
Mhm.
have a business, and we kind of like hire mostly our oldest kid to like do some things,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Her biggest job that she did was as a 12-year-old,
11.
11-year-old was to take down imposter accounts on social media.
Yeah. I
Which
got to get her back on that. There's
which-
been a few more pop up.
yeah, so these fake accounts that are posting my content and trying to monetize my content uh, got removed by a 11-year-old.
Essentially. I mean, I was involved too, but yeah, she did all the
Yeah, well,
the
that
lo-
was after we trademarked the Glockenflecken, right?
before.
Before.
Yeah,
Now it's even
before
easier.
we trademarked it, you had to go individual video by individual video.
Yeah.
Do a whole like set of 4 steps per video.
Yeah.
There was a spreadsheet involved. So she did all the work of like filling out that spreadsheet and then I submitted the
If I can
reports.
give anybody advice, it's if you're like if you have like a presence on social media, you have a business, a social media business. I don't know who this is going to apply to that's listening, but trademark your stuff,
Yeah, if you can.
because then now what do you do?
Well, now I can just show proof of trademark
Slap
and
it
it's
down
it's a lot easier. It's not a look, sometimes you still have some hoops to jump through, but it's fewer
because
generally.
it's like legal. It's like lawyering.
That's right. That is
You feel big and
right.
powerful when you show up with the trademark. Do we have like a physical piece of
We
paper?
do.
We do.
We do.
Oh, does that have a seal on
Well,
it?
you can also just look it up online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a
You
seal.
see
It's
our trademark,
official.
the Glauc and Flecken trademark?
USPTO.
Dang, we
Mm-hmm.
are official.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a long time, Facebook was like giving us the runaround,
Yeah.
right? They weren't taking it
Well,
seriously.
all of them really. It's hard to.
YouTube was the only one that took it very seriously.
Yeah.
They like immediately, as soon as I showed proof a couple years ago, they took down an account that had like 120,000 subscribers.
Yeah. I think Instagram is starting to try a new approach, at least. I don't know if I was going to say they may be taking it more seriously than they used to, but I don't know if that's true. But they're trying a new approach of, they're basically the algorithm is disincentivizing
Mhm.
you to share other people's content and it is rewarding original content. So that is one approach.
Were people being incentivized to post other people's content?
Yeah, there are some accounts that's just basically like curation accounts,
Oh, okay.
So they're not necessarily like posing as those
Right.
people, but the idea is if Instagram detects that this is not original content, then the algorithm
Oh, I like that.
like squashes it a little bit.
That's good. Algorithms are so mysterious to me.
To everyone, for
Well,
good and ill.
anyway, the reason I brought this up with our kid is because I was thinking, which of us, between the two of us, has had more jobs in our
Oh,
lives?
me. You had a
You think so?
cushy little city boy life
No,
with your
stop it.
rocket engineer father.
So I still had jobs. All right, let's go through it. All right.
First of all, what age were you at your first job?
Okay. I mean, you got me there. All right. But I was 17.
10.
All right. Tell the people. So let's start with, so what was your first job?
My first job was working. I was hired by my parents in their small business, which was a physical retail location. And I was sweeping floors, dusting, facing merchandise, which means you pull it to the front so that everything is nice and.
Oh, yeah. There's a person that does that?
Mhm.
For
That was me.
Bovine Supply Line?
Bovine Supply Line, Dublin, Texas. Mm-hmm. Dairy supply store.
But how many hours were you working, honestly?
Quite a few because both of my parents were starting this business, and so they would pick us up from school and straight to the business we would go.
Okay. Let's go job for job. All right. So you had that.
Mhm.
So my first job was as a textbook engineer.
That is not a real job. You made that up.
Sounds good though. it was a summer crew, and what we would do is we would go through all the schools in the school district, and like sometimes we'd remove old textbooks, we'd bring new textbooks in, we'd label the textbooks. There's a lot of moving boxes and of books and stuff, and always also just screwing around is a big part of it.
Tell the people what you really spent most of your time doing on that job.
Well, we were in these schools alone, like by ourselves, and
your 17-year-old boys.
oh man, it was so fun. Like we would do all the things that you wanted to do probably when you were in school. Like we had rolling chair races
Down the hallways.
Yep.
The empty hallways of the school.
And
so you made up some games to
other
play?
things we're not going to talk about. But the point is, it was a real job. I was getting paid $5.15 an hour, and somehow they decided to give us a truck to drive
transport
around
the books.
to transport things in,
show them around the town, give them a good time.
I'm amazed we didn't like crash that thing. One of our it was a kind of a large truck, and one of our crew members, also 17 years old, just assumed that the truck was a diesel truck and put diesel in the engine that was actually a gasoline engine. And so that was a problem. Little things that we'd screw up here and there, but we never did get fired. So
I don't know what that says about
one time. Because one thing we would do, we'd have these pallets of books, and we were working primarily in a warehouse that had all of the textbooks in it. We were just left to our own devices. We had like a general goal for the week that we had to do all the work by a certain time, but they left us plenty of time for naps. And prank
I'm sensing
calls.
a theme in your career choices.
Prank calls too. We enjoyed those. But one day, I was getting shrink wrapped to a pallet of
Of
books,
course, as one does
as one does,
at work.
um, with lots of loud music playing. But I was getting shrink wrapped, and it was in that moment that inexplicably, out of the blue, one of the administrators of the school district showed up with our boss, like his boss, like our
Mm-hmm.
boss's boss, and like
Mm-hmm.
a couple other people came in just to, I don't know, tour the warehouse or something. And they walk in and they hear like hard rock music playing very loudly, and then like four other 17-year-olds shrink wrapping another 17-year-old to a pallet of books. And I could not go anywhere. I was shrink wrapped to this. I was sitting there like, what could I do? I just like I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't hide. I was shrink wrapped. And I just remember the administrator saying, "Oh, isn't that cute?" And then they just looked around and then they walked out and left. And I don't remember if there were any repercussions from that. But
And
anyway,
your own
it
mom
was
was
kind of embarrassing.
also an employee of the school
Yeah, it just
district as a teacher.
didn't look great. It
No.
didn't look great, but that was kind of the shenanigans we got ourselves into. But we did our job, and it was fun. I had a good time. So
If
anyway,
you had like
that was my first job.
only actually worked hard, how long would it take to do that job in a week? How many hours?
Oh, I mean, it was like a 2 month. We worked for 2 months. We could have gotten everything done in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what's your next job?
Next job, I think would have been at the age of 15.
What were you doing?
And I was assistant coaching gymnastics
Okay.
at the gym where I had just retired as a gymnast.
You were an ancient 15
I
years
was
old.
so ancient.
Okay. My next job was delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut.
Oh, wait, but I have to go back. Those were not consecutive. I'm still working the first job when I get the second
That's
job,
not the
and I'm in high school.
Those aren't the rules of the game. All right.
I'm just pointing it out.
And
The timeline.
okay. All right. Well, so far you're up to 2 jobs. All
Okay.
right. And so am I, because I was a delivery driver. It wasn't Pizza Hut. It was Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Domino's for a failing Domino's franchise.
Mm-hmm. No longer there.
Shortly after
R.I.P.
I quit, or I stopped working there, they did fold.
Do you think that's because
I like to think I was the only one keeping it afloat.
you and your, what was it? Dough balls.
Oh yeah, I would make my own newfangled contract like things. I would just fill extra dough with toppings and cook them,
And then just like mash it into a ball,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's fun. It's great.
So rather
You
than
can
a
do that
flat
kind of thing.
disc, like,
Yeah,
I don't know why you didn't just make a pizza.
pizza dough balls.
Why not a pizza?
I don't know. This is like leftover dough that wasn't going to be used.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask
Small
this guy.
pizza.
I don't remember.
I'm just trying to understand how your brain works.
All right, next job.
Next job. Well, there are so many. How do I?
Stop it. Come on, you couldn't have worked that many jobs.
I worked. Okay, that would have gotten me through high school. Those were my high school jobs. And then college. I'm not going to remember what order. That's where this is going to break down. But okay,
we're doing job for job. See who has the
besides,
most.
I had a lot of these jobs all at the same time.
Fine.
Okay.
Just pick a job.
One of them was I worked in the campus bookstore, which was a Barnes and Noble.
Okay. I was a research assistant.
I was also a research assistant in 1, 2, 3 labs.
Okay. I was 3 labs. Oh my goodness. I was an RA.
Yeah, which I don't know if they still call them that.
They call them community
Residential.
advisors. I was called a CA, but for most people understand it as an RA. I lived in the dorm and I was like I held the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah. You were supposed to be responsible. This
Yeah.
is when I meet you, and I just remember that weren't there like door decorations
Yeah.
and stuff?
I had to do arts and crafts.
And I remember
I was good at it.
you didn't always apply yourself
Okay.
to that particular task.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Again, I've never been fired from a job, so I couldn't have done that bad of a job. doing these things.
What other job? Research. See, a lot of them were research assistant ships.
That's all just one job.
No. I think that's it for college.
Okay.
Nope. One more. I was a first year experience mentor through the honors college.
Oh, come on.
That was a job. It paid.
All
I had
right.
to fill out the paperwork.
All right. So for me, I've run out of college jobs. So then we're going to med school. I got a stand-up comedy.
That's not a job.
I was paid once.
How much? Like $10?
20. It's okay. Still paid. Still counts.
That's a gig, not a job.
I was a gig worker, gig economy
there you go.
worker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a grad student, which is technically a job. You get a stipend and all that.
I was a writer.
Again, you're really stretching the definition of job.
I was paid to write for a satirical magazine called Gomer Blog.
In your free time during residency. So that should tell the people exactly how much of a job, quote unquote.
I had steady monthly income.
Okay.
Like $200 a month. But, you know,
all right.
Something.
I feel like you have to fill out like a W-4. That is the definition. The IRS has to be aware that you are performing this work in order for it to count as a job. Okay. Then it's moving now into residency. Then I guess skipped one. I was an adjunct professor, adjunct instructor of psychology.
Talk about working your ass off for very little pay.
Oh boy!
Holy crap! I remember that.
Yeah.
Making making all the lessons and
you have to do all the work of teaching a course, which is a lot of work
for like
$2 an hour is what it comes out to.
It was rough.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad you didn't do that very long.
That was during your intern year, so we were in a place for just a year, so I had to find something I could do for just a year.
Okay, and then obviously internship was my first doctor job.
Right. And then I was a program director at a center for gifted education.
Okay.
So I ran some programs for smart kids.
I was a resident.
That is a job.
Yep.
That was a hard job. What did I do after? Well, then my job changed. Same place, changed positions into marketing communications.
Okay. I was an attending ophthalmologist.
And then my last job is this one.
Me too.
I don't know what you call this.
Me too.
Circus ringleader.
You're CEO of Glauc and Flecken Incorporated.
Yeah.
And I am the director of content.
Nonsense.
Content.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
The content director.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't have an official title in my own company that I'm an owner in.
I feel you do.
So anyway,
we're co-owners, co-founders.
So I think that's an equal number of jobs that we've had. I don't
think so.
I do believe that's what I heard. So
someone will have to go back and check.
Now you do.
However,
you do have more years.
I have more years.
Did you get?
I have more jobs at the same time.
Did you get a pension at Bovine Supply Line?
I did not.
Did you get any kind
I got the heck out
retirement?
of there is what I got. As soon as I graduated from high school.
All right, let's take a break and we'll come back and do one more thing.
Okay.
Hey, Kristen.
What?
I see you found my friends.
Well, you sort of forced them on me.
Did you ever think eyelid mites would be so cute?
No, I did not.
Look at these little guys with their little legs.
These ones are pretty
crawling
cute.
all over your eyelids.
Stuffed animal guys.
Yeah, you don't. Think
I don't think the real ones would be as cute. I don't want them on my eyelids.
I mean, almost though. Close. I mean, the one problem is they do cause a disease called Demodex blepharitis.
That is a problem.
Yeah, you get red, itchy, irritated eyelids.
Yeah, I know, crusty.
Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. You just want to just rub your eyes.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, but it's not something you should get freaked out by. You got to get checked out.
Oh, well, okay. That
yeah,
makes sense.
That's right. Eye doctors, we see these little guys sometimes. Yeah. All right. Nothing to be scared of. All right. You just got to get checked out.
Okay.
To get more information, go to eyelidcheck.com. Again, that's EYELID check.com to get more information about our little friends here and Demodex blepharitis. All right, we got to go back and we got to actually talk about some medicine related things. So let's do. We've done a number of things. Let's do 7 degrees of eyeballs.
Okay.
So I want you to give me like a body part, and I'm going to try to connect it to eyeballs in some way.
Okay. Fingernails.
God. Okay.
Just the first thing that popped into my head.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I got it. I think I
Okay.
got it. Okay. So, um, fingernails. You can get psoriasis that affects the fingernails,
Okay.
like makes them brittle.
hmm
And psoriasis can also give you arthritis
hmm
and also inflammation, uveitis inside the eye.
All from psoriasis.
Mhm.
All right. There you go.
Um, as an extra bonus, you can have a melanoma that can occur underneath the fingernail,
Oh,
and which is always a bad thing
it'd be
when
hard
that
to get
happens.
to,
And then, you can also get melanoma in the eye,
but not because you got it in your finger.
right? So that's kind of a not quite
Yeah.
right. Give me another one.
Okay. The spleen.
You know how I feel about the
I
spleen.
do.
Oh, the spleen. So, okay, sickle cell disease. When you have sickling, that can cause an result in an enlarged spleen,
hmm
and it can also you can get when you're having a sickle crisis, and you have a bleeding in the eye from a hyphema that can result in high pressure in the eye.
Okay.
And then sometimes you have to do surgery. So sickle cell disease can affect the eye, and and you can also have areas of ischemia,
hmm
a lack of blood flow to the back of the eye to the retina,
hmm
and it can also affect the spleen.
Yeah, I feel like these are stretches, but you're you're taking advantage of the
Okay,
fact that I have to take your word for
this
it.
the spleen. The spleen's a tough one, because it's so useless. Like, what do we need the spleen for? It just causes problems. I can't think of a better thing than that. Spleen, like, there's things that cause enlarged spleen, but then what, like, splenic disease also affects the eye?
Don't look at
I
me.
can't think of one. All right, I'm gonna come back next time,
Okay.
and
Do a little research.
okay, so you stumped me. It only took you two things. That's unfortunate.
hmm
Um, all right.
What were you hoping I would ask?
I wasn't hoping for anything. It's something like easier to make me seem really smart. That's all. Because I feel
You're
like
smart.
no, I feel like sometimes you think I'm dumb.
I don't think you're dumb. You're smart.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're almost as smart as me.
I think one of us. I mean, we have equal number of skills because we have equal types of jobs.
I think maybe
Weren't you a lifeguard or something?
a lifeguard.
Were you never a lifeguard?
No.
I thought that was like the only job you could do in Dublin.
No, I was a gymnastics coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we're
my peers were lifeguards. That was
Yeah.
a teenager kind of job.
Gotcha. Okay. Not for you though.
No, it wasn't me.
Um,
I would have burned like a crisp. Are you kidding me?
oh, that's right. You're a negative
I am very
1,000
pale.
on the Fitzpatrick scale.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. That's all I got.
All right. Well, try harder next time, I
So
guess.
the spleen. You guys know any spleen connections to the spleen? That's cheating.
Oh,
That's cheating
why is that?
because like this,
The spleen doesn't do anything.
all it does is get big, and you can get it injured.
Mm.
So I protest.
Right. Well, would you prefer I say elbow?
Um, elbow would imply one of the long bones, which would be your I think it's your radius or it's the ulna. I think it's the ulna that encompasses your elbow. I mean, your elbow's a joint, so
it's not
it
really a
can be
body
both.
part,
But
or it's not an organ.
long bone fractures can send little bits of fat to the eye, and what's called like a fat emboli. Perture retinopathy is the disease that it causes.
That sounds horrible.
So you get basically fat emboli that go through your bloodstream, get into the eye, and cause ischemia of the retina.
I'm glad
There you
that
go, elbow.
some people like to do that job because someone needs to.
It's one of the
But
only
it sounds
connections
horrifying.
that I have with ortho.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a lot in common, me and ortho,
Yeah.
but that's one of them.
There you go.
And then orbital fractures, but they don't really care
Yeah.
about the orbit.
No?
No, because it's not something that they repair.
Mm.
That's
It's a lesser bone to them.
It's a lesser bone. It's an inferior bone. The orbit. It has no marrow.
Mm.
It's not that they care about marrow, but it's just not fixable through hammering and nailing and
How do you
things.
fix it?
Yeah, orbital fracture repair is pretty specialized. So sometimes it's done by oculoplastics, which is a subset of ophthalmology. But there are other specialties that can do it. Like there's like maxillofacial people who I think can get into that from dentistry, but also from like trauma surgery. Like you can specialize in like that part of
I've had a
the face.
maxillofacial surgery, or multiple actually.
I don't want to talk about teeth. Come on now. But anyway, what you do most of the time, it's a orbital floor fracture. And so what you do is you put a little plate to cover the fracture line. Because what can happen is if the bottom of your orbit fractures and remains open, it's like too big of an opening, the eye will sink down into it. So you'll have
Does
one
it
eye.
Ooze in like goo?
It goes,
Just
yep, exactly. Just like that. It makes that little sound too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What I thought.
And so, but it can cause double vision, all kinds of problems. So we don't always have to fix orbital fractures, but if it's a big enough fracture, then we'll go in and plate it. Basically create a new floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
all right.
Anyway, the more you know. And that's all we got for today.
All right. We
So
did it.
we did it. We
We
talked. We talked to each other, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
That's great.
I did a little walk down memory lane with her.
With our jobs. So tell us what you guys want us to talk about. Do you have any or what you thought of this episode, or any other eyeball connections you want me to try to make with other very inconsequential organs? I'd love to hear it. Should we do a story real quick? So this is a story from Lori. It says, "Hey doc, because you're a slow talker does not mean you're quote unquote dumb."
Thanks, Lori.
That's so nice. For starters, I don't know any dumb people who got into med school.
This is true.
That's true. My son is a slow talker like you, but brace yourself. He's a general surgeon.
Ooh.
Hey, someone's got to do it. All right. But wait, it gets worse.
Oh.
He's getting married to another general surgeon this summer.
Whoa.
2 general surgeons.
Double surgeon household. I bet it's
That's a fascinating
well-kept.
house.
Yeah.
Well kept.
Yeah, I feel like surgeons are meticulous.
I don't know. They're working all the time.
So they're not there to mess it up.
I guess that's true. Thank you for that, Lori, and thank you for telling me I'm not done. Just
No, you're not dumb.
I talk slow.
You're very smart.
I do know that people are listening to me on 1.5 speed and listening to you on normal speed, probably going back and forth.
It'd be tricky for people because you'd have to do that. You'd have to go back and forth.
Thank you for that note, Lori. You can reach out to us, email us knockknockhi@human-content.com. You can hang out with us on our social media platforms. We have all our content there. You can hang out with us in our Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods. Thank you to all the people leaving feedback and reviews, like at Tony P8159 on YouTube. By the way, our YouTube channel.
At Glauc and Fleckens.
At Glauc and Fleckens. Tony said, "Another delightful interview. I learned a lot about L&D. Also, the ads for Demodex blepharitis are so stinking cute." People like the
Thanks,
stuffies.
Tony.
I enjoy your chemistry with Lady G. Me too, because I would not be here without her. I also like that you made a second channel for just podcasts. Makes them easier to find when I just want to listen. Yep, at Glauc and Fleckins. At Glauc and Fleckins. We also have, that's where you can find full episodes. All right. Again, at Glauc and Fleckins. That's different than my YouTube channel. Patreon, we have lots of cool perks, bonus episodes, where we react to medical shows and movies, hang out with other members of the community we're building, early ad-free episode access, Q&A live stream events. I love doing those.
Those are fun.
Those are really fun to be able to connect with people. Patreon.com/GlaucandFlecken, or go to GlaucandFlecken.com. Speaking of Patreon community perks, how many times in your life do you think you've said Glauc and Flecken?
Less than you, I feel like.
I think I've said it more than
you say
my
it a
own-
lot
more
just
than-
in these podcasts.
I think I've said it
outros.
more than my own name at this
Probably,
point.
yeah.
Anyway, new member shout out on Patreon. We have Britt K, Jessica S, Eric B, Barbara M, Geraldine R, and Julie B. Thank you all for joining. Welcome to our little growing enclave. Or is that like a
I don't know if does it have a negative connotation?
like a
cult?
cult? That's what I say. Did I just call us a cult? We're not a cult. We are not a cult. It's absolutely not. I don't think. I don't know. What's it? We're not
To
a
the
cult.
best of our knowledge, we are not a cult.
Shout out to the Jonathans, Patrick Lucia C, Sharon S, Omar, Edward K, Stephen G, Jonathan F, Marion W, Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C, Brianna L, KL, Keith G, JJH, Derek N, Mary H, Susanna F, Jenny J, Mohammed K, Aviga Parker Ryan, Mohammed L, David H, Jack K, the other David H, Gabe, Gary M, Eric B, Medical Meg, Bubbly Solid, and Pink Macho. Ooh, I did that really well.
You did. Good
Patreon
job,
roulette,
buddy.
random shout out to someone on the emergency medicine tier. Caitlin S. Thank you, Caitlin, for being a patron. And thank you all for listening. We are your hosts, Will and Kristen Flannery, also known as the Glauc and Fleckins. Thanks to our executive producers, Will Flannery, Kristen Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke. Editor and engineer. The only person that has two jobs, editor and engineer. Jason Portizo. Shout out, Jason. Our music is by Omer Binsby. To learn about our Knock Knock High's program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission verification, and licensing terms. Two things. And the licensing terms. Don't forget those.
But don't forget about the HIPAA release terms.
HIPAA release terms. Amazing. You can go to glaucandflecken.com or reach out to us at knockknockhigh@human-content.com with any questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock High is a human content production.
Knock, knock. Goodbye.
Hey, Kristen, would you like to have a Jonathan in your life?
Would I ever?
Well, I mean, you have me. That's
Well,
something, right?
Yeah, that's something.
Not-
That's something.
Yeah.
But do you have a Jonathan? Are you offering?
I know. I do have the Nuanced Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short.
All right, that's kind of like a Jonathan.
That's great. It's AI-powered ambient technology. Sits there in the room with you. It helps decrease admin burden.
Mm-hmm.
Could all use a little help with admin work. all
Definitely.
right?
No one needs more paperwork.
It reduces burnout. It improves the patient-physician relationship.
Yeah, we really need that these days.
It helps physicians get back to what they love to do. It's just taking care of patients.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, 79% of physicians also say their work-life balance improved on DAX.
I'm in favor of work-life
Hey,
balance.
I'm an ophthalmologist. You know I love me some work-life balance.
Mhm.
All right. Today's physicians report are feeling overwhelmed and burdened so much that work-life balance feels unattainable.
Yeah.
Well, if DAX can help, that's great. Right?
Yes.
All right. To learn more about how the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX Copilot, visit nuance.com/discover DAX. That's nuance.com/discover DAX. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts, or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.